Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. It's time for this week's Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 366, and wait for it, my special effects are coming. Flash sale! Those are my special effects, that's all I've got. Flash sale! I don't know how to edit, so I can't put in cute little emojis or anything like that. I have no clue how to do that. So what you get is flash sale. Yes, it's a flash sale this week, and it's on product that we would not normally carry, and we've never carried it before, but we've got it now, and there's a reason we've got it now. So I've got product from Stampendous, I've got product from Chowbella, I've got Aladdin here, this is a fun YouTube. It's a fun and affordable YouTube. Somebody else's oopsies or somebody else's, yeah, we don't want that anymore, becomes our flash sale and becomes you getting, I don't know, $50 worth of product? $51 worth of product for $11.99? Woohoo! And what's best about this is that it's like a twofer, because we're going to take the product and we're going to take some of it and do something with it that you're going to keep for yourself. But then there's this leftover bit that we're going to transform into something totally different that you can then give away. So it's like you get some for me and then some for your friend, right? It's some for you and then some for your friend or whoever you want to give the gifts to. I'm really excited about this. I think that if you haven't seen rice paper before, you're going to see how we use it and things to be done with it. We're going to be stamping, we're going to be coloring, we're going to be playing with calendars. There's just a lot going on. So I'm hoping that you look forward to it. Also, curbside delivery has started at Scrapbooking Made Simple. Wahoo Kachoo! We're excited to offer our local peeps curbside delivery. So if you are somewhere in sunny California or Arizona, or if you drive to Scrapbooking Made Simple normally to come shop with us as opposed to shopping online, then curbside delivery is available to you. You're only allowed to pick items from the YouTube Yummies category. So you're allowed to shop anything that we're going to have from today in that YouTube category, along with Stacy tape and cardstock and card bases and basics, staples are all in that YouTube Yummies category. Unfortunately, you can't shop from last week's YouTube Yummies category because that's over with, and we're unable to shop the store for you. So while you are limited into what that product is that you can buy, if you need tape or you need card bases or you need 100-pound cardstock, you need a tape runner, absolutely, that's in the YouTube Yummies category. Or you love what we're showing you today and you want to take advantage of the flash sale. You can see my vertigo's better, right? Because I'm moving around. Last week I felt so stiff. This week it's like, ooh, getting in the groove. So okay, so I talked about curbside pickup. I told you this was a flash sale. I am going to show you the product first, just in case you want to go grab it, because it is limited. Also, it will not be a ships when it ships sale. Normally flash sales are. This is just going to go in line with all the other YouTubes. When we get to this YouTube number to start fulfilling, we're just going to get it out and send it on its way. We are currently working on the Aladdin and those 3-dimensional stencils YouTube. We're starting to fill those orders, and we will be starting to fill the Prima orders with the molds and the paste. I think those will probably be started on Monday, but Aladdin is going to be started with the 3-dimensional stencils. Those are going to be started tomorrow. So at least that gives you an idea of where we are. We're trying to do 2 YouTubes at a time to catch up. So that's why we're not going to hold anything. We're not going to have it as ships when it ships. We're just going to press on through and get through them. Okay, I've got Winter Chicken Dinner to talk about. I think that's probably where we should start. Anniversary sale, Winter Chicken Dinners. Elena is working on it. It is an absolute process to pick 114 winners. Not that we pick them. You put in the software, there's a software, and you pick how many total comments you have, 1 down to 1,500 comments, and then you you punch in how many winners do you need, and then it picks out, it says, okay, comment number 42, comment number 82, comment number, it just randomly picks numbers, but then we have to go and we have to count. We got to count down. Okay, winner number 42, comment number 42 is this person, and comment number 82 is this person. So it takes time. The good news is that all 114 packages are already ready to go. All we have to do is slap a label on them and get them out to you. So Elena said, please be patient. She's working on it. She'll get it to me just as quickly as she can. And then I'll do a YouTube letting you know who has won, because I'll be announcing all 114 names. Fingers crossed. All right, let's talk about Winner Winner Chicken Dinner today. And these lucky peeps have won a $25 gift card to Scrapbooking Made Simple. With any luck, I've already put it in your online account. And if I haven't, and you are live chatting with us Saturday morning at 8 a.m. sunny California time, I'm bebopping over to the website right now to add it in. It's so easy peasy to add it in, but I always forget. So we certainly want to make your heart happy and have you spend this $25. And this YouTube Yummies, that $25 is gonna go a really long way. Trust me on that. The product that we have for you at the price is amazing. So our first winner is Ashley. Hello, Ashley. Ashley Cortez. Oh, I like that I can pronounce your name. How do you do, Ashley? Yay for you. Congratulations. You're a winner chicken dinner here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. You need to do nothing. With any luck, like I said, that $25 is already in your account. And if not, I'm doing it right now. Our second winner. Oh. Sandra. Hello, Sandra. Can say your first name without any problem at all. It was my mom's first name. Well, it was my mom's first name until I learned that her real name was Sandra. But for most of my life, my mom's first name was Sandra. Sandra Gabats? I'm sorry, Sandra. I'm doing my best. I know. She's like, oh, she just butchered it. But that's okay. I butchered it announcing you're a winner chicken dinner. So that has to count for something, right? Right? You got $25 coming your way to spend, Sandra. So congratulations to Ashley and you, Sandra. And I think you'll get a good value for this if you spend it this week. I think you'll get a really good value. But it is time to do our winner chicken dinner dance. And since my vertigo is gone, you're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo, ka-choo, for you. Couldn't do that last week, trust me. Now, let's talk about product really quickly. The product that we would not normally carry. We wouldn't. I have wood mount stamps for you. Wait, don't turn me off yet. Don't turn me off yet. Wait till you see what we do with the wood mount stamps. Trust me, wait till you see how, I'm gonna explain how, I'm gonna explain. I don't wanna get ahead of myself, but they're at such a value. Such a value. And when you see, like I said, what we ultimately end up doing with them, so that some of it you get to keep, and then the stuff that you would throw away, we're going to make something fabulous out of. I've got wood mount stamps from Stampendous, and the reason I have them is because they were returned to Stampendous from Michaels. You know, things happen, absolutely. Michaels, things happen. And manufacturers take back product all the time. We, if you get something and you're not happy with it, we take it back. But Michaels ultimately has made some business decisions, and they have decided their Recollections brand is what they really want to focus on in their craft neighborhood, in their store, in their crafty neighborhood. They really want to focus on their private label. Simply Defined is my private label. Simply Refined is my private label. Recollections is theirs. So they're cutting back a lot of manufacturers, and the product that they still had in stock, they're returning to the manufacturers. Now, in some cases, it's a lot. In others, it's not so bad. Oh my goodness gracious. But Jane Davenport was returned from Michael's to Spellbinders, and we were able to bring it to you as a flash sale item too, which that product has landed, yay. So Michael's has decided to really focus on recollections, and they're sourcing their own manufacturing. They're not having manufacturers that we would know do their private label for them. What do I mean by that? Well, in a couple weeks, I'm going to have, literally, it's marketed, it's labeled Recollections stamps for you. I'm going to have them for you. They're going to be at a flash sale type of price. While they're a Michael's brand, Stampendous is the manufacturer of them. Stampendous made them. Michael's went to Stampendous and said, we love these stamps and we want them as ours. We want these as exclusives. We want you to do these under the Recollections brand. And Stampendous said, absolutely. So they did, and they sent them off. And then, I don't know, 6 months later, I don't know how long, Michael's has made this decision that they really just want Recollections, as much Recollections in their stores, and that they're not going to use domestic necessarily manufacturers. They're going to go and source their own manufacturing, or maybe open up their own manufacturing. So all this product's coming back. Michael's go backs are your flash sale. You know, Stampendous, these companies, Spellbinders and Ellison Sizzix, I mean, there's lots of companies. These are my friends. And when they get this return, they're like, and it's like, okay. So I got a call from Peggy, and she's like, oh, we got these wood mount stamps. I said, Peggy, we don't do wood mount stamps. Never, ever do we do wood mount stamps. She said, I'm still going to send them to you so you can look at them. It was a good thing she did, because I thought about it. I got them, and I'm like, I don't do wood mount stamps. And then my mind started to think. And I thought, well, what if we did this? And what if we did that? And what if we, and all of a sudden, we're doing wood mount stamps for you today. So I'm going to tilt down. I'm going to show you some samples first. I'm going to show you some of the product, and then we're going to get started. I don't want you to be afraid of a wood mount stamp and the storage issue. I'm going to show you how we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that, and then we're going to make something fabulous with what you would normally throw away, and it's going to be easy and fun, and everybody can do it, and affordable. So affordable. Why? It's a flash sale. This product's got to go. Got to go. All right, I'm going to tilt on down. We're going to get started. Good to see everybody. All right, down we go. Okay, and then let me zoom on in. I always get so worried because the zoom button is right next to the record button. I'm so worried that someday I'm going to accidentally turn my record off right in the middle. Let's hope not, shall we? Okay, how's that? Oh, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, here's a sample we made with a Stampendous stamp. Isn't that so pretty? Love it. And then here's a sample we made using a Stampendous stamp. So this is what you would normally think of to do with the stamps. And let's see. It is wood mount. Totally wood mount, but don't worry. Wait for it. So this is, and then this one here is that one there. Again, wood mount. But we're going to get rid of the wood. We're literally going to take the stamps off the wood blocks, and I'm going to tell you how to do that. Because then we're going to take those wood blocks and we're going to make gifts for people. These are the 2021. They're my calendars. Did we do them Simply Refined? This is a wood block. And we're going to make calendars out of them. Wait. Look at this. This is the wood block. Wait. I'll show you one more. So these stand. We made these so they just stand up. They just stand up, easy peasy. This one just stands up. That way if it's on your desk, this is what you see, but the people looking at your desk, this is what they see. Isn't that so pretty? But then we also did it so that you could take fun foam. So this is, isn't that beautiful? Is that gorgeous? But we put fun foam on the bottom of it, so now it doesn't scratch your desk and you can just lay it flat like that. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So this is the byproduct of the wood mount stamps. When we take the stamp off the wood mount and you're like, okay, back it up, girlfriend. You lost me. Okay, let me just put these over here. And let me put these here. Okay, so we have two different bundles of wood mount stamps. Bundle number 1. Holy smokes, there's something going on out there. This bundle retails for $51 and your price is $11.99. You're going to get all 4 stamps for your $11.99. And that gives you 4 wood blocks to play with. And then we have our second bundle, which is just sentiments. I love the sentiments. They're beautiful. Michael's has good taste in sentiments. You've got a really great little happy birthday and a couple. In fact, this, the one I showed you, this one, like I said, was here. And that says, you're the friend everyone wishes they had. Great little sentiments. Love the sentiments. This is $25, almost $26 worth of stamps for $5.99. You're going to get them all for $5.99. Again, Michael's we don't want these anymore becomes our Wahoo Kachoo. But we're not going to leave them on the blocks. And you're like, how do you get them off? Well, first things first, do not try and peel it off. Do not try. Elena took all of her cling, all of her rubber mount, or her rubber stamps, and took them off the wood mount. But she didn't know what I'm going to tell you. And she literally went in there and was scraping it off to get it off. No, don't do that. No, all you have to do is put them in your microwave for, try 15 seconds. Does that sound fair? 15 seconds? This one I put in for 15 seconds. And I've already peeled it off. Hold on. So I've already peeled it off once. This one I put in for 15 seconds in my microwave. It loosened the glue and allowed me to peel it off. Now I'm going to use this block today with the rice paper, but now I've got my stamp in storage. You go from something this thick to now something this thick. Is it a cling stamp? No, because it doesn't have the cling foam on here. Can you still use it? Absolutely. I mean, lots of people are taking their rubber off their wood because the wood think about it. How many cling stamps could you fit in the same storage area of 4 wood mount? I don't know, 15? If they're this thick, 15, easy. So we just took them, I put them in the microwave. This one I put in for 15 seconds and then kind of peeled it away, and then 15 seconds, and it just comes off, leaving you with this really nice piece of wood. And they're nice pieces of wood. The wood itself represents about 30% of the cost of the total stamp. So if this stamp was $15.99 as a wood mount, about 30% of that price is in the wood by itself. We just kept taking them off. You can do this. Really, you can. 30 seconds on larger stamps in your microwave, and it's not going to hurt the rubber. You just try for 15 seconds, and if it pops off, then you're great. If you need a little bit longer, put it in a little bit longer. Ta-da! So I'm going to play with the stamps super quick just to give you an idea of what you can do with them. But the idea is that you're going to keep the stamps for yourself. You're going to add these to your collection for $11.99. Holy smokes artichokes. But then you're going to take these and you're going to transform them into the calendar stands that I showed you, making 4 lovely gifts for somebody, for 4 people, also for your $11.99. Talk about bang for your buck. Talk about one for me and one for you. You're sharing and you're repurposing, and before you even realize it, you're DIYing. Who knew, right? So I am going to stamp because I do want to show you that they work just fine. I'm going to put these, I'm going to put these there. I'm going to bring over my gush mat. I'm going to grab a block. I'm going to grab my memento. Now these are still kind of sticky, and it might still, it's still sticking to my clear block, and that's what this is. This is a clear block where clear stamps and cling stamps stick and they come off, and they stick and they come off. Stamps are to be used forever. It is a tool. They're a tool in your crafty arsenal, because you can come back 5 years from now and stamp it again, and a good rubber stamp or a good clear stamp is going to stamp just as good on day 1 as it is 5 years later. And we all know Stampendous. We know Fran. The company has been around forever, and you don't stay around forever like that if you're not producing beautiful quality product. That's why $11.99 is a great deal. But so I've got it on my clear block right now, just because it's still kind of sticky. If when the stick stops and it's not going to stick to my clear block anymore, how do I get it down? Well, I would just take a piece of double stick tape, put it there, peel it off, and stick it down. Done. And then when you peel it off, your double stick tape is going to stay sticky for quite some time. You could even, if you wanted to, you could even take the liner and put the liner right back on top of it until next time. And when your double stick tape stops sticking, just put another piece right on top of it. You could even take the liner and cover it up so that it stays sticky till the next time. This is not hard, and you can buy, there is cling foam that you could buy to go around to put on this so that it would cling. It's not inexpensive, I'm going to tell you that. You're going to spend as much for the cling foam, you're going to spend more for the cling foam than you are the $11.99 for the stamps. So if you are okay with repositionable tape, Stacy tape, whatever you need to do, because it just needs to stay on your block. Now I'm gonna ink it up, and let's grab a piece of paper, shall we? How's this one? Is this one big enough? Is it big enough? Why, yes, it is. I'm gonna use some Memento ink. You can use your Hero Arts ink. You can use the India ink, will work best. You wanna use an ink, because I'm gonna be using Tombow Markers, so I prefer to use an ink that doesn't move with water or with some sort of a liquid. So I'm gonna ink, and then I'm going to bring it over, and I'm right on my gush pad. A gush pad is a pad, a foam pad that's at a density that allows the stamp to hit the paper and then sink into it, so it makes a really nice impression. If for some reason pushing down is hard, first off, no chest compressions. We're not trying to revive the stamp. You just want to give all over push. So A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and let's see what I got. Oh, not bad. I could have also easily, if I wanted to, ink. That's plenty of ink. Doing this and talking and hello, how are you? Did you go get some tea today? How was school, kids? Well, you know how school was because they're probably still at home with you doing school, but this is an awful lot of ink and you really don't need this much ink. It's okay. Just 1, 2, 3, good, go. I'm gonna take my paper, and this time, just in case I have trouble with my hands or holding a block or I don't have a positioner, a stamp positioner, I'm just gonna lay this right on top. And I'm gonna give a nice little back massage. Now this better be darker because that's a lot of ink. A little crazy there. But it's fun watching people ink something up because they just keep going and going and going. Okay. No, about the same. Either way, whatever it works to get you a nice impression, whether you use a stamp positioner and you're able to go and press down, you use a block and you press down, or you give it a nice back rub. Whatever makes your heart happy to get a good impression. The point is, I was able to do it, and it wasn't on the heavy wood mount block. I was able to take it off and still use it. This one took me about 15 seconds in my microwave just to get that glue a little warm so that it just kind of comes right off. Some stamps may need a little bit longer time, some may need a little less. The point is 15 seconds in the microwave is not gonna, even 30 seconds in the microwave is not going to hurt your stamp. Go for it. If you're tired of having them all on your wood blocks and you need it for storage, great. You like the idea of the calendars, what we're gonna do, but you don't have any wood block because they're all on, your stamps are all on them? Well, now you've got a way to get them off. Okay, so super quick, I'm just gonna color this so you can see that it can be done. I'm gonna be playing with my Tombow markers. Tombow markers are a brush tip on one end and a bullet point on the other. So I could do something very wide, or I could do something narrow and right with my name. Tombow markers are also nice because if you want to, you could take, and I didn't clean my stamp. I could take my marker and go in and color the individual items on my tree. Like I'm gonna make my tree kind of red, make the hearts kind of red. And I'm using the side of my brush, not the tip. And I'm just going and I'm adding ink to it. Ink, ink, ink. And I've started with my red, and then I'm gonna come in. Oh, I didn't bring a brown with me. Well, maybe we'll use a little bit of a green. Come in with a green and where my tree trunk is, and I'm just kind of going over that red. Let's go. Then now I'm doing the roots. And maybe I throw in even a little bit of a darker green, maybe towards the bottom. Don't know. We'll see. It's only paper. Okay, so I've used my Tombows to ink up my stamp in lots of different colors as opposed to just doing the black. Now let's see what I get. Oh, I have to huff it. You're just gonna huff it. Can you hear that? So, quick huff. That just gets the ink moisturized again so that it's ready to stamp. So the red, which had been sitting there for a little bit, now it's all re-energized again and ready to stamp. And let's see what I get. So Tombow markers are great for that. If you have Marvy markers, those will also work. If you have Stampin' Up! Markers, those will also work. What will not work is, gosh, Will your Tim Holtz distress markers will work. Oh yeah, see, look at, so let's cut that piece off. 'Cause I don't know. Ta-da! I cut off my little scribble. So I used my Tombows to add color to it. Now I'm going to color this in, and I think I'm going to do the black one. And I'm still going to use my Tombow markers. This was done with Memento ink, which means that the black is not going to move when I color it in with my Tombows. I don't want to use a black ink that's going to smear. Your distress ink will smear. Your oxide ink will smear. Your, what else is out there? Let's see, what else will smear? So your distress, your oxide. I don't know if your Stampin' Up ink will, but it's water-based, so I'm thinking it will smear your Stampin' Up ink. It's Memento and India ink, your black India ink from Tombow, or from Hero Arts works well. And so I'm able to go in and add color and play with my blender pen. I think I'm gonna bring another piece of paper over. So, Tombow makes a blender pen. It is not a blender pen. It's kind of a misnomer for what it is. You would think that a blender pen, which is what this is, would allow me to take this color and this color, and the blender pen would kind of maybe act like a watercolor medium that would then allow me to move these two into each other. Not so much. This is a blender pen for palette painting, not for going straight on paper. You're like, what, Stacy? What? Palette painting. You can use a block. You can use your craft mat. You can use a piece of aluminum foil. Anything that's non-porous where you're able to put some color down and then go in with your blender pen to kind of pick up that color. So now I can make this a very light pink, as opposed to the very red that it is. I can pick up that color from my palette, which is whatever you have that's non-porous where the ink won't sink into. And I can blend that color out. Not blend two colors together, but blend that color out. And if I want to, I can go back in and maybe make it a little darker at the top. Totally up to you. Now it's a little darker at the top than it was. So when they say a Tombow blending pen, it isn't where you're going to be able to take two colors and make them blend together. It's where you take one color and palette paint to give you highlight and definition and mid-tones. So if I go in here and let's say I take my heart. And I just take a little bit of that red, and I started in the upper corner and I brought it down. That's simple. It gave me pink, it gave me a softer red, it gave me a highlight and a shadow and a mid-tone, all with just one color. And if I want to go back and I want to make that red even redder up there, all I do is pick up a little bit more red and go in and just draw it in. Just pick up almost pure red and go back in and draw it in. So now that has even more dimension to it. Tombow markers, easy peasy to use, and if you talk to people, they last a lifetime. So let's go in and let's do it again. Bam! If I want more red coming down, I just pick up a little bit more red. Could I use the marker straight on the paper? Sure I could, but what you're going to get with that is a very intense red. Sure I could. Really intense reds, because you're getting the full strength of the marker when I don't want the full strength. And now maybe I want to do some pink. Put a little pink. Doesn't matter what color. Doesn't matter what color my tip looks like, as long as when I put it on paper, it comes out clear. Are these refillable? No, they're not. Are they affordable? Yes, yes they are. Do they last a long time? Yes, yes they do. So let's come over here and let's do this one. Pick up a little extra pink so it's a little darker up there. And let's do the big one. And with just one marker, it gives you the highs and the lows and the shadings and the shadows. This is not hard. This is super easy. If you've never colored before, grab some Tombow markers. Have at least one, preferably maybe two blending pins, because you use it a lot. Once you get started, it's like, oh my gosh, I can do this. It's like, yes, yes, you can. And before you know it, you're sitting in front of the TV and you're coloring your card fronts, or you're coloring in embellishments for your scrapbook layouts. And you never knew that you could do it. So I wanted to show you how to use, and I suppose I could use a little green. Should have got a bigger block. Just making sure that my marker is clear. And then I can start to pick it up. And just start to fill it in. See, if I used the green all by itself, it would literally cover up all the fine detail. See, I used the marker straight to the paper, and I've lost all of that fine detail of the stamp. But by palette painting, it takes the what do they call it? The saturation, it allows it to become more transparent and not so opaque. And I can go in and color. Big difference using that than that. So quick and simple, easy coloring. You've got a value price on stamps. So if you've never stamped before, this is a great value for you because it lets you try without spending a lot of money. And stamps can get to be kind of expensive. They can. Let's see, do I have one? Look at how cute, right? Super cute. All done with a stamp that I took off the wood block. Okay, let's get to the wood block part now, right? So, I have now taken my stamp was here. Well, how about here? This is what it looks like when you're going to receive it. I put it in the microwave. I then pulled my stamp off and I kept that for me. And now I have this to do for a friend. What do I want to do with this? What am I going to make of this? Well, on some stamps, you're going to find that there's a sticker on both sides. And that usually has the UPC and the SKU. Do you have to take it off? You don't. If you can get it off, it's always nicer to, because obviously this is a plastic and paint doesn't necessarily stick to it. It may scratch off. And we're trying to make a nice gift for somebody on a, we're on a budget, but we don't want to give them something that's not going to last, right? We want to give them something handmade, heartfelt, and of quality that they'll appreciate and practical. So I've got my wood block. Now what do? Well, you have a couple options. This one has printing on the front of it. I can paint over that, or I could choose to do a matte over this, and that's where I'm going to put my calendar, and I could use this side for my rice paper. I think for this one, since I got red on it from my fingers, can I get my red off? I think for this one, we're going to leave it kind of natural. And I'm going to leave this there because I'm going to cover this up with paper. Yeah, I think I will. And I still have it on my fingers. Holy smokes, Stacy. Oh, when I picked it up, Okay, that makes sense. I'm like, how did I get all this red on my fingers? But that's okay. So I'm going to pull over some rice paper. Ooh, this is rice paper. This is from Ciao-Bella. What is rice paper? Well, it's kind of like a mulberry paper where it's this woven material. It's sturdy and strong, stronger than you would think. The word rice is a misnomer. It's actually, it's very, very sturdy and beautiful. It's beautiful. And I'm gonna put it on my block. But there's a very easy way to get rice paper to work simple. First off, I'm not going to take and cut this out. I could, but I'm not going to. I want my rice paper, it's fibrous. So when I tear it apart, you're going to see little fibers come out. If I cut it straight with scissors, what you're left with is this straight cut. And it's just okay. You don't want it. You want something that's going to kind of fade away. And that fibrous element to rice paper allows that to happen. So I'm going to take my wood block and I'm going to decide what I want to see. Maybe I want to see that. And instead of cutting it out, I'm just going to take some water, basic water. And I'm going to put water. I'm just going to paint it right onto my rice paper. And you'll see the rice paper getting wet, and that's A-okay. I'm just painting it right on water. That's all I'm using. I'm going to get some water on here. Okay. Oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, can you see? Oh, yeah, you can see that good. Now, instead of cutting, I'm literally going to tear. Where that water is, my rice paper is just going to, it's just going to tear so easy and effortlessly. No hard pulling. You don't, if you've got trouble with your hands, this is going to be easy peasy for you. If it's not tearing as easy as you want, add a little more water. And, okay, and then I want to go down that, I'm going to go down that side. So can you see the fuzzies that I'm talking about? That fibrous material that makes up rice paper? Having these fuzzies is what lets it kind of disappear when you use it. It leaves no hard edges. So I want to get some of that white, because I've got that border on there, and I want to get rid of that border. And of course, since you're using water, it just dries. No harm, no foul. And I'm just tearing the white border off. I don't want a hard edge of scissors. So tearing becomes your friend. And it's left this lovely little softness around all of the edges. A lovely little softness, which then I can take. Now I could put it on top of here. Could cover this up. Could paint this first and then cover this up. But I'm going to put it on this side. And you see it just kind of fits. Now how's the best way to get this down? Well, you have a couple options. First off, I could paint under here kind of a white or something in a basic paint. I've got the Aladdin paint. And that would brighten. In fact, maybe I'll do half of it. Maybe I'll do half of it white and half of it not. I should put my markers away, right? Whew. Okay, lid. This is not the right lid. Oh, Stacy. That's right. That's right. Okay, I'm not gonna worry. I just know that this is not the right lid, but I'll find the right lid later. Okay, so I'm gonna paint half of this white just so you can see. This is just Aladdin Eye Ink Natural Paint. We've used it in the past few YouTubes. It's a basic craft paint. The beauty of it is that 80% of it is made with natural materials. It's made in France, and it's just a lovely product, and the coverage is amazing. It is not a glue. It's not a glue, it's a paint. There's a difference. And you see, I'm just using my fingers. You all might want to use a paintbrush. I get that, I understand. But I think I'm going to do part of this in white and part of it in natural so you can see the difference. Ooh. All right, that looks good. Wipe my hands off. And then I'm going to take my rice paper and I'm just going to lay it right on top. Figure out where I kind of want it and lay it right on top. And now we're doing good old-fashioned decoupage. US decoupage. European decoupage is where you layer paper on top of paper on top of paper. Decoupage here is where we take paper and then we're going to use some kind of a medium to get it down, to hold it in place. Today I'm using the Crafters Workshop, I'm using their gel mediums. I've got a matte gel medium and a gloss gel medium. They do the same thing, only with two totally different finishes. One, the matte is just like it says. It's going to have no shine, no glaze, nothing like that. Whereas the gloss, depending on how many coats you put on, can get a very high shine, a very high glaze. I think for this one, I'm going to use the matte. And can you use regular glue to do this? Yes, you can. But for the most part, you will need to water down your glue. Probably 2/3 glue to 1 part water. I need this to be of a consistency that it just paints on easy peasy. Now, I'm not painting it underneath. I'm painting it on top. And a little bit of water would be helpful for my brush. I'm painting it right on top. So can you use your glue? Absolutely you can. You need to play with it a little bit and alter it a little bit, but then once you've got it, the right consistency, you'll be fine. The medium, the Crafters Workshop medium's lovely. Do you have Tim Holtz's product? Sure, you can use that too. Do you have Dreamweaver stuff? Sure, you can use that too. I like the finish of the matte is beautiful, and I like the gloss, and I like that these jars are not too big. For me, this is just about the right size. It's 2 ounces, and so it'll last me a long time without a huge capital investment in money. So I'm just painting it all around. I'm not even worrying about the corners. I'm just folding it in on itself and down. Could I have put some underneath beforehand and had it stick on before I laid it down? Sure, I could, but this works just as well. Can I use my fingers to do this? I have. And now this is the side that I painted white. You still have to seal it. You still have to get it down. But instead of having a solid edge, I've got kind of a nice soft edge because I may paint the sides of this. I just kind of want a nice soft edge. So how you get it down is really up to you and what you're most comfortable with. Like I said, some people will have wanted to paint the block first and then add their medium. Others, like me, just go for it. And as that medium dries, it becomes transparent. And I think I'm done. So now this is going to dry, and then I can finish working on it. Me being me, I think I'll start doing my matte, or do I want to paint? Okay, I'm gonna let it dry for just a few minutes. And remember I had said, I'm just gonna matte this side back here. I'm not gonna worry about that being there. I'm just gonna cover it up and hide it. So what's the best way of doing that? Well, let's grab my black paper, and I'm gonna kind of cut me still wet. Cut me some off. How about I have another block that I can go and get the sizing from. Oh, perfect. Ha. Okay, so I'm just going to take another block from the same size because the blocks on 3 of them that come in the bundle are the same size. And I'm going to cut me down some matte. So here and here. All right, so let's see if I can get it somewhat straight. I guess somewhat is in the eye of the beholder. Let's see, how'd I do? Oh, I'm still a little bit big. So let's cut down a little bit more here. And a little bit more here. Awesome. Gosh, that's going to fit on that just fine as this is drying. Isn't that pretty? Right? Who wouldn't love to get this? It's beautiful. So as that's drying, I'm going to work on my mat over here. Now let's grab do we want a white or a color or, gosh, I don't know. Do I have something in the blues? Okay, that works. So I'm gonna make a smaller mat out of the blue. You've got how much scrap paper in your arsenal right now? I know, right? How many little bits and pieces do you have that you could cut up? Not bad, a little low there. I'm gonna just trim that down just a little bit, just a little off the side. Okay, we're good. So I'm gonna tape that on down. And I'm gonna use Stacy tape. You may use whatever tape makes your heart happy or whatever adhesive you use. If I were using Stacy tape, I would definitely be putting it around all four sides. But for class today, I'm just gonna get this down. Get it as close as I can to... Gosh, how did it fit so perfect and now it didn't? I think I must have rotated it. Oh, just go with it, Stacy. No, that's too close to the side. Oh, but it's Stacy tape, it's down. Okay. Then let's take our calendars. Calendars. Simply Refined. These are 2021 calendars. And there's not one calendar in here. There's 10. So, January. There's 10 individual calendars. So you've got January all the way through December. 10 separate calendars. So for one pack, and I think our price is $1.99, for one pack you're getting 10 sets of calendars. You do not need one calendar pack per piece of wood. No. That'll be too many. And then we can come in and we could, if I wanted to mat that, I could take my black, trim it down, little Stacy tape, Ooh, I have an idea. Stacy tape on the back of my December. Put that on my mat here. And put that on my mat there. But okay. So because it's got the UPC number there, I think I am going to take a hard cut here. This is off that same page. Same page. There's just a little piece of lace down there. What if I were to get some water and separate it? I had to tear it off. And then bring this back over. And what if I put it there? And decoupage it right onto my cardstock. Little bit of paste. Let's get a little bit of my matte. Not my gloss, I want my matte. And what if we just put it down? And get those edges, the soft edges, really good. Now I'm making a card with the, I could use this as a card. I'm using the decoupage not on my wood at all. I'm using it on paper. Decoupage doesn't have to stay on wood or metal or tin. Heavens no, you've got options with it. Of course, gluing it to my hand is not usually the best idea. But I'm gonna take it and just cut there and cut there. We'll cut this one down just a little bit more. Good enough. And then we can put that. Ooh, that's so cute! And that was just using that little snippet of the bottom of the sheet that I was using. Okay, let's tape the piece down. So cute. One piece of rice paper. My gosh, if you're smart and you can utilize it well, you really think about where you want to put your placement of everything. I'm going to put a little, I pulled it up with my finger, a little bit more, just to get it down. And then let's peel. And let's stick. And then this is almost dry. So here is where the white paint was. Here is where there isn't. This might be a little bit brighter, and this is straight against the wood. You decide what you like, but it's got that matte finish on it that's just gorgeous. It's pretty dry. I'm gonna turn it over. Remember, we've got this to cover. And look at that. It fits. You would use more adhesive than me. I'm just doing this so I can get it down. don't know how I want it to. I think I want it to sit that way, stand that way. And now you have got your gift ready to go. $1.99 for 10. $2 on sale. The rice paper's on sale for $2. If you're good, you can piece these pieces together so that if you have a little piece here and a little piece there, you've got this piece left over, you piece it right there. Once you add the the medium to it and you get it down, they just kind of melt into each other if you've torn them. So easy. And then your paper, your set for $11.99, where you keep the stamp. But give away the block. Who would not love this on their desk, right? It stands up. It's a beautiful, nice, heavyweight piece of wood. Or I could have put it here, the calendar, and made it, put a fun foam on the bottom so it can lay on somebody's desk. These are super easy to do. Let's see, let's do, what if I want to paint one? Can I paint one? Absolutely. I've got my, how about gold? Do I want it gold? Do I want to do my, maybe I do my decoupage first. And what about this one? Ooh, that looks good. I think I'm going to do my decoupage first. And, I need to take off I want to take off my plastic on the sides. This was a Laurel Birch, sure is a Laurel Birch stamp. And if you want to keep them on the block, you absolutely can. I just want to give you options. What if I took this and then I took that? You think it'll be too big? I don't know. Let's give it a whirl, right? All we can do is try. So I'm gonna get let's get that wet, and let's get that wet, and then I'm gonna take some of my decoupage and my rice paper and get it wet so I can cut it out. Just with water. Just with water. And then I'm just gonna tear. And those fibers are just gonna separate. And then I'm gonna get rid of the bottom and the side just with some water because I don't want a hard cut. And it doesn't really matter to me if some of the white stays or goes. I just don't want a hard cut. Oh, not enough water. So people always ask, what do you do with rice paper? What don't you do with rice paper? On cards, on vellum, on vases, you have options depending on how you use it. You make beautiful, put it on the back of glass plates. You have so many chances to use it. Now, I think because this is so dark and textured, you really don't see here at all. So I'm going to go ahead and just put it right on top of that one. And again, like I said, if I wanted to, I could take some of my medium and kind of put it down here first, just kind of paint it on. And if you're going to use a glue, try to keep it a little loose. And put it down. And then I can go and just glue the rest of it down. So we're using the Crafters Workshop glue. They're mediums, but it's not the only paste you can use. I like it. It's affordable. It works really, really well. It's very clean. It dries beautifully, but that's not to say that if you have the Tim Holtz version, that's going to work for you. If you want to use your glue, that's going to work for you. But you do want to use the right tool for the right job. And you can see the corners. I just folded the corners in on themselves and I'm good. So I'm going to add just a little bit to the top of this. Just a little bit. Because I think I want that bird. I think I want that bird. So I'm going to put this over to the side. And I think I'm going to try and get that. I'm going to get that bird. And I'm just going to get some water. And then tear. Well, separate with a nice soft edge. Now when this dries, you'll never be able to see that I put water there. But I want that bird. And I'm going to tear here and there. I'm going to try and get that bird. So I'm just going to tear some of this off and make it a little smaller so it'll fit better. But I want to keep those soft edges. And anywhere I feel that it's going to rip instead of giving me those soft edges, I just add a little bit more water to. Let's get rid of some of this. Okay, look at the fluffy all the way around it. It reminds me of a soft teddy bear. All that fluffy fiber all the way around it. Now I'm going to decide, where do I want it here? So I've laid it there. And now I'm going to come back with my medium. And this time I'm going to use the gloss over the top. And that's going to end up giving this a shine and a sheen. So I'm going to put this all over. All over. And I'm going to glue down the sides of my bird. And a little goes a long way, and you start with a thinner coat, and you can build the coats as they dry to the gloss level you want. So I'm going to let this sit for a little bit and let this start to dry. Because right now it's pretty matte. You can't see through it. It's a lot of white, and that's the glaze. But as it dries, it will become more and more transparent to where you can't tell that there was any on it at all. Look, it just looks like it was painted on. It does. It looks like it was painted on. That's the beauty of rice paper, and the fact that you can, oh, you know what I could do? So I got rid of some of this, right? I was about to throw this away. What if I took this and what if I took some of these smaller pieces? Gosh, I was going to toss that, but let's not toss that. What if I take it and do something with it? What if I take my water, a little bit of water, and I get off some of this white. What if I do my corner? Get off the rest of the white. And what does this piece look like? These were throwaway pieces. Ooh. Let's get rid of some of this white. I don't care if it has some of the white. I just don't want that sharp white line of that edge. What if I put that there to kind of balance? Take a little bit of my glaze and go over the top. Get that down. And then what if I took the words? Oh, I don't know if I want to take the words out. I'm going to wait. So I'm going to let that be. And I can come back in, and I'm just going to put this flat down. We're going to see what happens. Ooh, do you think it's going to pull it? I'm going to grab some of my paint. And I have that blue. I have a blue here. I'm going to put some paint on this side. You can use your finger, you can use a paintbrush. I don't mind using my finger. You can see that the coverage is super good. But if you've got basic craft paint at home, go for it. If you've already ordered the Aladdin, we're getting ready to start shipping that from the YouTube that we used it in with the 3D stencils. I just want to add some paint. Too much there. So now I've got every finger into it. Literally every finger into it. All right, I'll use a paintbrush. Okay, let's get some paint. Kind of rub it in so that it blends in with the decoupage. And I know there's paint on that side already, but we're just going to go for it. Thankfully, this paint dries super fast. And the decoupage, the medium, the matte medium and the gloss medium also dry really quick. But can you see I'm just kind of blending it in, and then I might take my finger and kind of rub it in and maybe rub a little across the top. Oh, I got my fingerprint on that one. And kind of blend it in so that it just melts into each other. It melts into the decoupage. It melts into the medium that I've already put down. So there I am. See how I've got it kind of across the bottom, almost like I've distressed the edges a little bit? Almost like I've just distressed the edges just a little bit. Just tapping it kind of, and then rubbing it on in. Right? Super easy. And then, oh, that was my hand going across the back. Okay. And then what if I took a little bit of the gold? So the back side is still wet, but we're just pretending that it's not. What if I took a little bit of the gold maybe? You think it would ruin it? Don't do it, don't do it. I can't hear what you're saying. Don't do it. Go for it. Don't do it. Go for it. And we have made a stunner that nobody, well, I don't know, maybe your family thinks you're uber talented. Mine, they are very unimpressed. So it has to be something. First off, they're never going to think I did this one. They're going to think the SMS girls did it. But maybe your family, when you give this to them, they look at it and they go, you did this? And it's like, yes, yes, I did. My back is still really wet. Okay, it's starting to dry. Can you see that the white that was there is starting to fade away? And can you see how it's got more of a gloss to it? I shouldn't have done the back, but you know, you're gonna have to do the back. You want it to be finished, right? I should have said, and you can finish the back as opposed to me trying to do it, but I'm not done yet. We must finish what we've started. Now, what if we take, wow, I make a hot mess. What if we take one of our calendars and let's get my scissors. And cut, cut, cut. And cut, cut, cut. Just a very small mat. Oh, it's too big. Nope, it's got to go on the back side. I'm not willing to cover this thing, cover it up. It's got to go on the back side. So for that, I have to wait for my paint to dry. How sad. Give it another coat. So that I have a nice blue on here. I could even take some of this and maybe hodgepodge it around if I wanted to. And let's just get the white off of this, just so the back has some interest to it as well. You don't have to. Can you imagine kids doing this? This would be super easy for the kids. A little paint. They don't even have to use the decoupage. You pull the stamps off the block, let them paint it, and let them put some cardstock down and make some calendars. I guess the point is, if you're going to take your stamps off of, is this the gloss? Yes. If you're going to take your stamps off your blocks, do something with the blocks. They're a premium piece of wood. Okay, we'll let that dry. I'll wipe my hands one more time. We'll put that there. I would absolutely tape it down, but my paint is wet right now. Gosh, maybe it'll stay because my paint is wet. Who knows? And then let's put my calendar there. No, it's pulling already. So I have this on the front. On the back. You would let it dry properly, and then you have a beautiful gift for somebody. And this time I layered the decoupage. I could have even gotten closer. I could have gotten right up to that bird, right up to it. And you can see slowly but surely there's starting to be a sheen to it. And the more, once this dries, if I put another coat of the glossy on it, it'll be even more glossy. I did these. Wow, that is still, I like the blue. I did these two a little bit earlier. And I don't want to get blue all over them, but I did this one and I painted it gold on the back and on the sides, and I decoupaged on the front, and this is the matte medium. I added a little bit of gold on the sides just to distress it and vintage it up a little bit. And this is ready to be done. I could do whatever I want with this now. It's totally dry. I could add more decoupage to it. I could add more paint to it. It really is whatever makes my heart happy. But then I did this one. These are out of the exact same sheet of paper. This one, however, I painted white on the top. I painted white, and then I put my decoupage down and I used the gloss. Can you see that sheen and shine? It's definitely different than this one. This one I just put straight down on. Didn't paint white underneath. This one I did. This one I used the high gloss, the glossy medium. This one I used the matte medium. It's up to you what you're going to like or what the person you're going to give it to. Somebody may be very shabby chic vintage and would prefer this. Somebody else might be a little more modern and you use blacks and grays or however you do it and you add that gloss to it. Either way, it seals them the same. It's just a different look as the finish. It still seals them the same. And now I have an opportunity to do what I want. I could add another coat of paint to this so that it paints all the way through and I don't see any wood. I could mat this and put my calendar there. I could add a little something from something else. It just depends upon what it is you want to do. Love him. Look at him. He's fab. If you want to do guy cards, look at the rice paper to do a great guy calendar. Put it right there in the corner. Right there in the corner. And if you already have wood blocks and you're thinking, oh, but all my wood blocks are small. They're small. That's okay. Glue them together. Take the small ones, glue them together to the size that's going to make your project work. Glue them together. What size do you need? Can I fit that on there? Oh, I can. You're going to get blocks from us when you buy the stamps, assuming you take them off the block. But if you've got tons of wood mounted at home and you didn't know that a little bit of heat from your microwave and all of a sudden you've got more storage room in your crafty space at home. I don't know anybody who doesn't need more storage room. I need more storage room here. Mr. SMS has allocated me to a rack. It's like, really? Just like my shoes. I looked at him last night. I said, I need a little more space for shoes. You have more space in the closet. You're not using your space, all of it. And he said it didn't matter. It's his space. I'm like, oh, but don't you think these shoes would look so cute there? He did not. I think if you don't use your space, you lose your space. I don't think he's going to find that amusing at all. Work for me. Oh my gosh, look at how fabulous that will look on there. Holy smokes, artichokes. Do I want to back it in white so it stands out a little more? Or do I want to back it in a gold so it stands out a little more? I don't know. Oh my gosh, what if I just did just a small little tinge of white? Not a lot of white, just a little, just a hint of white. Like I'm gonna wipe most of this off, but I just want a little bit of white. Okay, see, a little goes a long way. Alladine paint, a little goes a long way. But what if I take just take some of it off? Just to kind of give it a distressed kind of vintage. And then, what if I take this and put this here? And I take my gel and I put it down. No blue. Oh my gosh, that's so perfect for a guy. And I glue it on down. And remember, we took two and put them together. Two. And put them together. What size blocks do you already own? Now that you're thinking you're going to go grab them all and take them all off, think of all the things you can make. And we'll let that dry. And as it dries, the rice paper is going to come through more and more and more. And then we could stamp something up here. We could add our calendar back here. We could paint this. We could put a piece of felt down here and just make a paperweight. We could make coasters. You have options. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a few minutes. And this one is still drying, but you see the sheen coming up? And the more I put on, the more of a glaze it will have, similar to that one. If I put another coat, it will have more of a glazy look, more of a glossy look. So really the matte and the gloss are the only two that I have that I use because they're the two that I go to the most. There's chalky finishes, and I mean there's tons of different finishes out there for your mediums, but the matte and the gloss seem to be the ones that I use more than anything else. And it can go, the glosses or the mediums can go on glass, it can go on plastic, it can go on metal, it can go on paper. And as it dries, this will now even have, oh, you can see, look at that. As it dries, it's going to have a higher level of gloss to it. Ooh, so pretty. And it will become more transparent. That milky white will seep away and disappear as it dries to where you get that crystal clear, beautiful look. Unless you don't like the gloss. And then you keep it to the matte. Doesn't that look cool? That was done with the matte. Put the rice paper right on top of paper. Absolutely. Make fabulous cards with it. Take it and make beautiful cards out of this. Gosh, we can take it. Put that over there and let that one dry, let that one dry. Okay, let's cut this one. I think I'm going to do it here. Gosh, would this be close to a slimline card? You think that's close to a slimline? I haven't done slimlines yet. You think that's close? I just want to get rid of the white. And just peel so that you have that soft edge finish. And take it. And now I'm making a card with my rice paper. I'm not going to put it on wood or plastic or metal or glass or canvas. Ooh, canvas. You could just Mod Podge these, put one of these right on with your Crafters Workshop medium on canvas and put it in a picture frame and call it done. What if I do? I don't know if this is slimline size or not. What if I put a little bit? I want my matte, not my gloss. Gloss, I want my matte. I'm just going to take a little bit of matte and put it right down the center just so I can hold it in place. there. Go all over. With my paste. Get my edges down. Now I would go over the top of this, but I don't have time to let it dry. So I'm going to trim this down as if it's dry. I think that's pretty good. That's not so bad. That's not so far away from a slimline size, I don't think. Oh, I should have left it, but, and then I could take my stamp that is going to come off the block. Ink it up. Oh, Stacy, I can't tell which side is her friend. Well, okay, so this is right. Let's hope it stays because I didn't tape it down. And yay! Ooh, that's a funky cut. Slimline card. My cut is so bad, isn't that terrible? Or not. Now I've got that one ready to go on something, and I can make a little gift tag out of this one, and you get the gist. Options, you got them. Rice paper, so easy to use. Look at how pretty is that. Put a little hole in it, put some ribbon through it, attach it to a gift bag. Then you still have this to work with and make this into a beautiful card. It's already on my paper. Look at, I even used the bad paper. It's already on my paper, ready to go. So much to be done with these. So much to be done with rice paper. You just have to let your imagination go a little crazy and think outside of the box. If you don't have the right size wood blocks, because I don't know, make the size that you need. Put them together, gather them up, glue them. Oh, look at how good this one's starting to come. Glued together. And then I'll finish it. I can put something up here, a for you or a stamp of some sort, and put my calendar right on the back. And this guy is still drying, but it's getting there. And boy, you can see the difference in the gloss. When this is completely dry, stunning, because it will be crystal clear. Oh, okay. We did a lot. Holy smokes, artichokes we did. And I made a lot of things. Who knew? We started with just, these are all wet from baby wipes. Started with just playing with stamps and Tombow markers, and how easy it is to take a Tombow marker, put it onto a palette, and take their blender, which is not a blender, it's a palette blender, go in there and add some color. Bam. Done. Talk about easy peasy way of coloring in. And yes, it does have a Copic-esque look to it without question, because you've got your shadow, your midtone, and your highlight all in one. But I didn't use 3 markers. I just went. And bam. So we talked about the stamps, because when you buy the stamps, they're going to come on the wood blocks. But I didn't want to use the wood blocks. I wanted them off because I wanted to make pretty things with the wood blocks. I wanted to give options. I wanted to give gifts where I spend the $11.99. I keep the stamp. I keep the stamp and then use the block to make a gift for somebody. If you are on a crafty budget, this is the best of both worlds for you, because you get to do it all. You get to have your cake and eat it too. You get to have your stamp and make something pretty too. So we played with the calendars, we played with the paints, we played with the rice paper. We used rice paper directly onto paper. You absolutely can do that. Not hard to do at all. You can use the rice paper on metal and on plastic and on glass. It's whatever floats your boat. Already on paper? Attach it to something? You've got this covered. All right, holy smokes. Let's see what we have. Let me get all of this. I have got it everywhere. Well, I had a good time. I told you it would be fun and different and maybe a little out of your comfort zone, but that doesn't mean that it's out of your realm of can do, because you can do this. There was nothing difficult in this at all, and it doesn't have to be nearly as messy as I get, but I like to finger paint. I think that's a thing from childhood that I just love to finger paint. So, okay, so let me show you what we've got. First off is the set of 3. The sentiments, beautiful sentiments. Regular price is $25 something, sell price is $5.99. Then we have the big block set. And this is retail $51 for $11.99. And then the stamps are not sold open stock. You can only get them in the bundles. And then we have rice paper. And the rice paper that we have, I want to say there's about 20 different styles, and it's limited. So when it's sold out, and we won't have it again. So, or at least not until Chowbella makes more of it. But this is just a sampling of the 20 styles or so that we have for you. And then we have all of the Aladdin paint that I was using, which is 80% natural. It's made in France. It's child-friendly. It's eco-friendly. And the coverage is amazing. And then we'll throw, the set that I was using today was the Stacy set of Tombow Markers. We'll throw that on sale along with the blender pin. And I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's get to the samples because they're beautiful. Okay, so card samples first. So these are using the stamps. We took the stamps off the wood mount. And used them just as cling stamps. Isn't that pretty? So the stamps are useful all on their own. And this one they embossed. Look at that, beautiful. So we use the stamps. Here's a few more using the stamps. I showed you this one earlier. How happy is this one? Done in glitter with your Essentials ink pad. And then look at how vibrant this is. This was embossed and then colored in. Look at how vibrant it is. From very vibrant to a little more soft and subtle. All done with the Stampendous stamps that Michaels returned. So their return is our flash sale, and they're moving forward with mostly recollections in their crafty department. Well, that's our opportunity to bring you new and different and unique. Here are the blocks with the rice paper, all made into calendars, ready to give. From super easy and just done. Honestly, if this took you more than 15 minutes, I would be surprised. It took me 2 hours, but not you. So this is what they would see on the outside if you were facing somebody's desk. And then this is the side that has the calendar. I didn't do nearly the justice that the girls did. What a great guy gift. Dads and sons and son-in-laws and brother-in-laws and uncles and grandpas and godfathers. And I mean, it's just a really good, thoughtful gift that is handmade. And you can do this. The calendars, you get 10 calendars in each set. That's the rice paper. See, they got really close on the bird. I didn't get that close when I pulled my bird. And let's see what these look like. Oh, and then they were using the Aladdin paint. So these have been done with the paint to cover if you don't want the wood. And it just, with that soft edge, it just disappears. Wouldn't this make a lovely little gift for somebody? Friends at church. The postman or lady. When you need to give something and you've got a budget. No question, we all have a budget these days. And we need to be mindful of that and try and get the most we can out of how we spend our money. You get to keep the stamps. They get it's like the surprise in the Cracker Jack box. And these, they went all the way around and they hodgepodged paper together. They absolutely took a little bit of this and a little bit of that. This is straight paint. Oh, and look at, there's the glaze. That's the glossy. This is straight paint and bubble wrap. This was done with bubble wrap. So no rice paper at all, just paint. Same thing here. Bubble wrap, paint, textured. What have you got at home that you can texture? A little bit of rice paper going on. Things in the kitchen are good to add texture, to add that dimension. Kitchen utility, you know, the little whisks and things like that. Oh, they did it this way. And it goes, these go all the way around. You can take the decoupage and do it all the way around and use zero paint at all. No paint. Did I do that one? Oh, I'm getting lost of what I've done. Oh, I think I did. How about this one? I know I didn't do this one. And then this one has fun foam on the bottom, allowing you to put it on a desk. All right. Holy smokes, I made a mess, but it was a good time. I had fun. So I guess I really don't care that I made a mess. If you can't be messy when you're crafty, when can you? Okay, you guys, where are you going to find all of this? You're going to find it at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. You may find Aladdin paint at your local crafting store. If you do, get it from them. You may even find rice paper there, or the Crafter's Workshop medium. Really good product. Really good product. But the stamps are definitely here at Scrapbooking Made Simple. For that kind of price, they are a must-have. And hopefully you now have confidence to take your stamps off your wood blocks and then make something beautiful with those wood blocks. Coasters, magnets, what can you do with them? Just about anything. Okay, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Don't forget to post a comment and you might find yourself a winner chicken dinner next week. Bye, everybody.